Hey everyone, welcome back to Entertainment Corner. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of Seinfeld, the complete series on 4K. Ever since I heard this was announced, I was ecstatic. I love Seinfeld. I sat down and watched this show with my parents all the time back when I was like 10. I would watch this on the CW and all these other channels. And so even though I hadn't seen, every episode, I felt like I knew the show pretty well. So I do intend to sit through and actually watch all 9 seasons. Actually, I started watching season 1. But I'm just so happy this is here. And I will say this. I will be a little bit more in depth, but I'll say this right out the bat. Sony did a wonderful job for the most part. Like video, audio wise, this set is worth it. Absolutely. If you want a 4K sitcom done right, this is it. And I love Friends, and it doesn't look bad, but Warner Brothers kind of botched it a little bit. Let's be real here. So this is a very awkward set to hold, so I'm going to take them out individually now. Here, I'll show you. Now that things can't slide out, I almost dropped stuff. That's what this side looks like. This is what faces out on my shelf. Flimsy box. Not great, but if you're careful with it, it'll be fine. So, let's start with seasons 1 and 2. I love that they kind of kept with the DVD theme for the covers. Some people think it's lazy to reuse it, but I think they look just fine. So here we have the spine and the back with all the episodes, so pause to read that. So, I started my watch through, and I've watched pretty much all of season 1. It's only 5 episodes. Okay, the pilot it goes from like bad quality to really great quality. For some of the wide shots, or a lot of the wide shots, they had tape masters, and then they found the film elements for the close-ups. So that's why it jumps between. Like, it's just that episode. Like, you will not see that jump. So don't be worried if you pop it in and you just see the first episode. That's disc 1, by the way. And then discs 1 and 2 of season 2. So that is normal. That is intentional. Well, okay, maybe not intentional is not the right word, but it is meant to be that way because of what they were able to find for elements. Here is season 3. But after that, it looks amazing. There are shots where, like, tape was used in the show, and so it's just going to look like that. Like the puffy shirt, like Jerry being on television, that's going to be that. But otherwise, everything looks great. I haven't watched through, like, a bunch of seasons, but I started season 1, and it looks killer. Some people will say this: if your TV's just at random settings, it seems dark on cinema. I would just go to like standard or maybe like a slightly brighter picture, and you'll probably be okay. I know why people think it's a little dark. I personally did think it was a little dark, so I bumped up to a different setting. I think I just went to standard instead of cinema, and it just gave that little boost of brightness. And then I'm watching it in HDR10. I don't think this was Dolby Vision. If it is Dolby Vision, I don't have that. I think it looks fine. I think the colors look good. I've heard some things about the reds being a little hot, but I haven't experienced that personally. What I will say is I haven't seen season 1 in many years, if I ever actually did watch it all the way through, and it is not the same show. If you're even a Seinfeld fan, you'll know that. And a lot of people would argue even season 2 is, still getting there, and then they kind of hit their stride in season 3. But I gotta say, if I was watching Seinfeld back in the day, I would have canceled it at season 1, probably after the pilot. Like, it's just weird. It's not like terrible. It's just not good. So, but it is fun to kind of see how things go, and I'm glad that they kept going because it's one of the funniest shows of all time as it goes on. I love how this show weaves all the storylines together. Like that's it was ahead of its time. You have shows like Arrested Development. What's another good show that does that? Curb Your Enthusiasm. All that is Larry David as well. But just shows that weave different characters together, and their side plots impact each other, right? So what Elaine does impacts Kramer, and what Kramer does impacts Jerry, and what Jerry does impacts George, and that. And so it was really ahead of its time. So here's season 5. Sorry, I'm distracted with talking. I'm like not pointing out what this stuff is, but you guys can read. But yeah, honestly, I'm so glad this turned out so well. It is pricey and supposedly limited edition, but it's so worth it. I ended up getting the 20% off on Grove, and I got it for kind of a long story, but I ended up getting it for like $187. What happened is I bought it like, I want to say a couple days before Christmas, or maybe, no, I think I bought it a couple days after Christmas, and I knew it wasn't going to, show up for like really quickly, but 2 weeks and there was no shipping update. Like there's no notification on the tracking number. Nothing had changed. So I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to be impatient here, but like, what's going to happen? I would like to get my package. I paid a lot of money for it and I want this. I'm like, oh, no worries. If it doesn't show up by January 7th, please let us know and they'll ship out another one. Okay. So January 7th rolls along. I check the tracking. It hasn't shown up to my house. So I'm like, hey, didn't show up. Like, okay, sending another one out. Great. I've never had a problem with Grub, so I knew they would handle the situation. I'm not kidding. The next day, I checked my tracking for the original package, and it started moving again through the system. And I'm like, oh, great. Of course, then I was going to Alaska, so both were going to arrive while I was not there, and they did. Luckily, Grub wasn't hounding me. They're just like, if the other one shows up, just either deny it or we can send you a return label. When I got home, I just let them know, hey, I got the other one. I looked at them. I didn't open both of them. I looked at both of them from the outside and picked the one that looked better and then sent that other one back. But no, I didn't open the other one. I just looked at the corners and stuff. And all these discs look spotless. I didn't see anything wrong with them. Here we got season 8. Yeah, the discs don't have Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer, but it's fine. We still have some color up there. I'm not going to nitpick, honestly. The fact that we have the flipper discs instead of stacked, the fact that, the cases aren't eco cases, the fact that everything's listed out really nicely, the fact that the video and audio on the set is just superb, I'm not going to complain. Like, I could nitpick, but so many studios fail to even just package their discs properly that this gets a complete A+ for me. Like, Warner Brothers just likes to throw, exception of the Friends set, they like to throw their stuff on like the stacked crap, and it just pisses me off, but at least Sony seems to, in this case, do a really good job. Here's season 9. Okay, so big things to be wary of. Season 1, the episode 1, the pilot, whatever, gonna look a little weird. Special features are not all ported over from the DVDs, so you may want to keep your DVDs. They do have some special features, but I only think some might be upgraded in quality slightly. I don't think any of them are really going to be 4K quality, which for me is fine. I wish they would have included everything, but the resolution is not a big deal. And I have been hearing some people talk about some issues. So mainly the issues that I've heard of on the Blu-ray.com forum, which I'll link down below, is one of the special features on like season 8 plays the wrong audio, but the episodes seem fine. I think I've heard of people actually watching through the whole set and things seem to be okay. There's like little tiny things here and there, but nothing that like would make it so you can't watch the show in full. But sounds like there are some errors with special features on some of the discs, so be wary of that. I don't know if Sony's going to do anything about it. People are talking about it, waiting to see if they'll say anything. We also don't know if this is truly limited. We don't know if it's going to, if it's sold so well that they might do more. We don't know how many actual units they've made. I'd say it's worth it, but check your stuff quickly. And then if you need to get a return replacement, extra discs, whatever, figure that out in case it is limited edition. Honestly, though, all things considered, because I'm keeping my DVDs because of the lack of them including everything, which, yes, is a con. The fact that I'm keeping my DVDs, if I absolutely wanted to go on a special features watching binge, I could pop in my DVD. So yes, the error is not great, and yes, it's quality control that should have been caught, but I will say I'm not as peeved because at least I can watch through the entire series, which to me is more important. Yes, special features are important, and I'm happy that they even have them, but I can let that slide for now. If they want to do a reprint for that disc and fix the error, great. But I'm overall happy. This is way more effort than Warner Brothers, yeah, they probably did this kind of last minute to kind of compete with them, but I still think it's miles above Warner Brothers' lazy efforts usually. So, good job, Sony. Not perfect, but it is reasonable. Actually, it's really good. Not exceptional, but really good. So, I would highly recommend picking this setup, guys. Absolutely worth it if you love the show. The menus are nice. They don't use just standard text. They actually have like nice fonts, and they have little images when you scroll through the episodes on the pop-up menu. And the subtitles look nice to me. I don't think there's any other languages though. The Friends set is impressive for that they have like tons of languages, because that show is crazy all over the world. But buy it, guys. This is well worth your money. So thanks for watching this, guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.